everyone! I was floating about when I bumped into this short dream called Multiplicity. The first thing that caught my eye was the oil rig on the cover. I had this vague memory of seeing a work in progress on the Haunted PS1 Discord server. Unfortunately, I misremembered, and what I was actually thinking of was Project Waterbound. But fortunately, there can't be enough games about oil rigs, and I ended up pleasantly surprised by what there was. So it's this short, roguelike, survival horror, seemingly inspired by Signalis. At least the top-down perspective, the way you move vertically through a structure, the story, aiming, I don't know, it just has the vibes. Multiplicity starts with you hurt. Something has gone wrong. Without much else in the way of direction, you start to explore the map. This is randomly generated every time, and it's a solid map builder. At least in all my attempts, I never felt like I had been soft-locked, though the RNG for second items can be a little less kind. Basically, each map is guaranteed the spawn room, the exit room, and the key items. Usually floor 1 will hold a pistol, floor 2 will hold a shotgun, and if you're lucky, maybe even some ammo. But be careful what you decide to take with you, as you only have 3 inventory slots to work with. This unfortunately means to participate in combat, you have to sacrifice most of your slots. 1 for the gun and 1 for the bullets. Okay, I have no bullets. Awesome. However, at floor 2, where there are 3 key items, you either have to forego secondaries, or do some backtracking to the exit for each item. In true survival horror fashion, you have to make choices about what you prioritize. Puzzle solving, fighting, healing. Speaking of healing, you can't just use a med kit when you find it. You also have to find a med station. In my first run, I presumed they were unusable. I have med kits, but I don't know how to use them. Then I started theorizing that maybe like a med kit acts as an extra hit. Not particularly something I would like to test out. Then I accidentally discovered how to heal. So many med kits. So don't know how to use them. What? Does this... Oh. Cool. This was also where I learned that the screen, like, shrinks with each hit. It makes navigating around invisible enemies a little tougher, but not aggravatingly so. If you want, you can just sort of stealth around them, though you can also outrun them pretty easy. While they keep pace with you, they need to stop to swing, and so long as you're moving straight, you'll be out of range of the hit. But it's very easy for them to gang up or force you in the furniture to trap you. Ah, fuck! No! Of course, failing to avoid enemies could be blamed on the controls. They're kind of unwieldy even at the best of times. Usually WASD is like the chosen method of movement on a keyboard, but if you pick that, it's basically impossible to use Z and X for aiming and using stuff. It would have been nice if left mouse button and right mouse button did those jobs respectively. Luckily, you can't use the arrow keys as DOS intended, which makes the game far more playable. The only hiccup with this method is that the inventory keys are the numeric 1, 2, 3, so there's a lot of travel between use and pickup. It's pretty easy for your fingers to get lost in the way while you're being chased by a monster and trying to perform a drive-by. Crap, I missed. If you're unable to grapple with the controls and you die, the game will take you back to the main menu, where you have to start from scratch. Luckily, dying isn't a huge setback, as there's only really 2 levels to get through. And playing this over and over does seem to be the intent with the flashing again when you start. Overall, outside some roughness from learning the controls, the game's very solidly built. While playing, there's this text box on the side, and when you walk close to items or notes, it'll give you some flavor text. I was always the biology kid. This would be easier with you here, but then, would I be doing this? And between levels, you get a cutscene. There's also a few unique rooms that seem to trigger the text box and infer more plot. Although overall, I think it's kept vague on purpose, kind of taking a note from Signalis. A very interpretable type of game. So spoilers ahead, from what I understood, the game's about Elena, who's hopping between different versions of themselves to find the one where their brother isn't dead. Multiplicity focuses on the fatalist ideal that everything is preordained, that the laws of the universe dictate that every action begets a set reaction, And so, our creation, and every action we'll ever take, could feasibly be foreseen if you charted every possible variable that caused the reaction. It also kind of focuses on the idea that if you had an infinite amount of monkeys all randomly typing away on keyboards, eventually one of them could recreate Romeo and Juliet word for word. For the collection of letters that make up the body of work is just a pattern. It plays with the idea that the universe has an infinite amount of galaxies, and therefore everything that has culminated in your existence, the pattern of your genetics and the circumstances that make you, also repeat infinitely. An endless universe of fractals, the same events repeating forever. With these two ideas batting you back and forth, the main character seems to be using a technology they have created to transfer their soul through the cosmos. A human soul might be able to contact with this Mick entity. If that even exists. Hoping there's one galaxy where their brother isn't dead, but there are no variations. The laws of the universe demand that every action has the same outcome. So any universe in which they are born, the brother will die. In a car accident, if I'm not mistook. Honestly, I wanted to see if there was an alternate ending. Maybe if you took a weapon up to floor 3, you could shoot the floating husk that was your brother, and it would play out differently. But unfortunately, after my second run, I ended up doing 6 more, and I just couldn't get it because the RNG was unkind to me. If any of you managed to try this though, please let me know if there was an alternate end. Multiplicity isn't the game I thought I was getting, but I'm glad my faulty memory tricked me into giving it a try. While I personally don't believe in fatalism, that the universe is just a series of actions and reactions, and every decision we make is predetermined by laws of physics, the idea that in an infinite cosmos, the pattern of you and every mistake you've ever made is infinite, that you can't escape fate. I think it's a great conceit for a cosmic horror. Oh, and I didn't fit this anywhere else, but I also really love the monster sounds. Ah! I think that was the shotgun. Ah! It really triggered my fight or flight response. Anyway, thanks for coming on this journey with me. I wanted to try something different than just a playthrough. Give myself more time to reflect on the art. Maybe make something that was worth rewatching later. Let me know what you thought. Your interactions feed me and make me stronger. Also, if you'd like another way to help me grow big and strong, and you have the extra to spare, consider donating to my Ko-fi. Even just a one-time donation would alleviate the boot of capitalism and free me to make more art. I hope to see you again soon. There's an infinite amount of dreams I'd love to show you. Bye!